First of all, let me show you what you're looking at here. It's my essential oil sales for both the US and the UK workbook. Down below you can see I got a list of my employees by their ID for the US, and then to the right I have all their sales for the months of January through April. Of course you can see it for the UK down below. To the right I've got a label for this column, which will be their totals that I can do later on. In other words, for each employee I can add up their totals and put them over here for the months of January through April. In any case, the purpose of the training video is to show you how to move, copy, and cut your data. First of all, let me show you the simple features of copying and pasting your data. For example, I've got the totals label here for this column for the US, but what about down here for the UK? I can either go ahead and select the cell and just simply type it in, or in some instances, instead of typing, it might be easier to copy the cell and just paste it down there. To copy it, go ahead and select the cell that you want to copy. Now you can copy it by cell, click and drag, or by ranges of cells if I want to copy just this range that I selected, or you can actually go to the cell, double click on it. Once you see the cursor flashing in it, you can hover over it and you see your little I-beam. Click and drag and move your mouse and select parts of the cell that you want to copy. I'll show you how to do that later on, but let me hit the escape key to get out of that. I'll just do a simple copy by copying this cell here, selecting it, down to that cell there, so we have the totals for the UK, at least the label, that we can go ahead and add up the numbers for each employee down below and know with the label down here that we have our totals of sales for the UK here for each employee. So select it, and the simplest way to copy it, not necessarily the fastest way, is to come up here on the Home tab to the Clipboard group and click on the Copy button. In fact, when I hover over it, you can see that it gives you the name of the button and the description of what it's going to do. Also, if it has a shortcut that you can use on the keyboard, Ctrl C is the shortcut as opposed to clicking on the button. Go ahead and click on it. When I click on it, Excel puts this cell that I selected in copy mode. You can see the black dashes that are moving around it. I call them the marching ants because they look like little black ants that are marching around a picnic table. In any case, it's in copy mode. I can come down here then and then go ahead and click on the Paste button, which again is up here on the Home tab in the Clipboard group, just right next to the Copy button. There it is. Hover over it. It's called Paste, and then it's got the shortcut Ctrl V and Victor if you want to use the shortcut key. Click on it once and it pastes it. Great. I can click in another cell and click on the Paste button again, and I can keep doing this until the cows come home, or if I'm done and I want to get out of this copy mode. If you ever get stuck in Excel and you get these marching ants, or you're working with formulas and it's selecting other parts of ranges that you don't want to be selecting, you can always hit the escape key. When you hit the escape key, it pulls you back out, in this case, of copying that cell or being in the copy mode. In any case, let me go ahead and select the cell and hit the delete key. In fact, let me come down here and delete that as well, because I want to show you the other ways you can go ahead and copy and paste. Again, we have the shortcut keys. Select the cell, Ctrl C to copy. Come down here, Ctrl V as in Victor. That'll do it. You can keep Ctrl Ving in other cells and pasting. I'm going to hit undo several times here. And then hit the escape key on the keyboard to get rid of those marching ants. Or you can, when in doubt, right-click. I usually tell my students that if you're stuck and you're not sure about some of the options in Excel, if you right-click, you get a menu or list of options here, the least of which is copying. So I can go ahead and left-click on Copy. I get my marching ants. It's in copy mode. Come down here and right-click on the cell, and I get the paste options. In fact, new to Excel 2010, you get a lot of paste options. You have the first option, which in this case, when we're copying or pasting text, you can do a simple paste. But as you hover over the other buttons, they'll give you other options as far as pasting. If this was a formula, do you just want to paste the value and not the formula? Or do you want to paste the formula, which will also include the resultant value? Or do you want to transpose it? Or do you just want to go ahead and just copy the formatting and paste the formatting to the cell or link it? In any case, we'll cover these a bit later on, but let's keep it simple. Let's just do a simple paste, click on it, and you've pasted it. So it's becoming familiar if you do a right click and you want to paste with these options. And as you use the right click more and more, then, well, as far as the text goes, we know the first one is a simple paste, okay? Let me go ahead and click off in a blank area, hit the escape key to get the marching ants to stop. Okay, so I've shown you at least 3 ways to copy and paste. You choose the one that works best for you, either using the buttons, shortcut keys, or when in doubt, like I said, you can always right click and get the list of options there. Now, aside from just going ahead and selecting one cell, you can go ahead and select a range of cells and Ctrl C to copy and come over here and Ctrl V as in Victor to paste. That works right. Let me go ahead and hit undo and hit the escape key. You can also copy parts within a cell. For example, if I double click on this cell and I get my cursor flashing in it, I can go ahead and click and drag and select parts of the cell. Or while I'm in the cell, if you want to come up here in the formula bar, you can click and drag and select parts up there. Doesn't matter. Do it up here in the formula bar or down here in the cell. It's the same. Then once you select parts of it, go ahead and use the shortcut key Ctrl C to copy. When I copy, I don't get any marching ants. It only happens when I select either a whole cell or a range of cells, not parts of a cell. So there's no dancing clown that comes out and says, hey, you're copying parts of it. Just know that it is. So I've copied just these 3 letters here. I'm going to go ahead and click in another cell. And you don't have to double click in the cell to paste it unless you want to. Or if you want to paste it in addition to other text or characters within the cell, then of course you want to double click, hit the space bar, Ctrl V as in Victor, and you can paste it as an add-on to that cell. Let me hit the escape key. When I hit the escape key, whatever I typed in, as you recall in the earlier training video, it removes it. Or of course you can select a whole cell and Ctrl V as in Victor to paste it, and you can keep doing that, Ctrl V and paste forever. In any case, I'll hit undo a couple of times. And don't forget that you can also, if I select a range here, click and drag, you can copy and paste on other worksheets within your workbook, Ctrl V as in Victor, or you can create a new workbook and paste it in the new workbook or in another workbook that you've already created. In any case, let me go File, down to New, double click on a blank workbook and show you that you can Ctrl V as in Victor, paste it there as well. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this workbook by coming up here in the upper right hand corner, clicking on the inner X and saying that I don't want to save this. So it closes out of that workbook, but not out of the whole program here. And then I'll hit the delete key to get it off of my worksheet 2 and go back to worksheet 1. You can also copy the entire column or the entire row. For example, if I come over here and click on up here on the column header, it's the letter A. You can see when I hover over it, I get a down arrow. When I click on it, it selects the whole column, all the way down to row 1,000,000 or however many rows we've got there. And I can go ahead and right-click in the selected area and go to Copy. You can see the marching ants encompasses the whole column. And then I can come over here in a blank column if I'd like and right-click in the top cell and then go ahead and we'll choose the simple paste option and paste it. And it pastes that entire column over in column L. Let's right-click row 15 and go down and left-click in our menu, the copy. So we've got the marching ants around row 15. And then I can either come down below and click in the first cell and paste there, or I can even right-click on the row header, number 24, come up here and do a simple paste, click on it, and you can see, well, it pasted that row, or at least there wasn't much in the row, just what we see up above. But if there was anything else further down the row, it would have pasted it down below here as well. In any case, hit the escape key on the keyboard. I'm going to go ahead and hit the delete key to get rid of that, and then click off in a blank area. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.